Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a locally owned business serving central and southern Indiana since 1922, with residential and business internet, voice, and security services. Smithville, local pride, global technology. Information at smithville.net. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
You know, recently we also visited another unique track in Indianapolis, but this one is on a slightly smaller scale.
I think the thing I like most about RC racing is the realism behind it. Even though you're not sitting in the car driving it, when you watch that car driving around and the way you have to steer it and drive it and throttle it and everything, it's just like a real car. You actually almost get transported. You don't even realize that you're just sitting there playing with toy cars. You're actually competing and racing against other guys.
Whenever I race, I get on the driver's stand and we're getting ready to start a race, and I get hot. I start to get a little sweaty, and one guy told me once, he goes, "It's hot inside that car, isn't it?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not inside that car," but you feel like you are. You know, when you've got a vehicle coming at you at 60 miles an hour and you got to make a decision, left, right, or stop, and you got a couple seconds to do that, it's got to get a little rush going, you know.
It's just like a real race car. You got all these different adjustments. You got shock oils, you got gearing changing. Your batteries kind of control your power along with your radio transmitters, your controllers. So every week guys are fine-tuning their trucks, just like NASCAR, IndyCar. Every track they go to, they have to change their setup. It's just like that here. It changes week to week. So guys are constantly changing their trucks to be more competitive.
It's actually a lot more difficult than initially you might think. To get competitive, you need to have a lot of time practicing, and then the other fun thing is that you have to understand sort of the basic physics of how a car suspension works, and you learn how to set up the cars to handle differently.
For me, it's as much about working on the truck and getting the setup right as it is about the racing and being competitive. And every single person in here is willing to help you, talk about how they set their truck up, the tips they have, and then a lot of it really just coming in here and putting a lot of laps on. I'm sure just like the real racing, practice, practice, practice.
Once somebody tries it and they see what it's really about and they see the competition behind it, once somebody gets a taste of that, they're thrilled. It's like they won the Indy 500.
I'm sure you've heard it for IndyCar racing and NASCAR racing. It's a family event. It truly is. I mean, we've got mothers and fathers and grandfathers and grandkids, and they'll come here and they'll spend 4, 5, 6 hours here working on their cars, racing their cars. It's just great entertainment. There's an old saying too, it says any day at the racetrack's better than no day at the racetrack. So even if you didn't win today, you still had fun.
That is so cool. If you'd like to try your hand at racing, visit www.indyrcraceway.com.
Mama, I got it bad for you. Hot tamale, hot tamale. You're my little hot tamale, honey babe. Hot tamale, hot tamale. You're my little hot tamale, honey babe.
Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a locally owned business serving central and southern Indiana since 1922, with residential and business internet, voice, and security services. Smithville, local pride, global technology. Information at smithville.net. And by WTIU members. Thank you.